Hello, my name's Lucy Gervasoni. I have requested some video from a previous conference presentation, but I am yet to receive it. So I just thought I would give a brief synopsis of part of my abstract. The solutions to climate change often require the use of land which is currently used to grow food and fibre. As planning policy for climate focused primarily on the built environment, there is often a vacuum of guidance for planners on how to ensure landholders are involved in determining how to meet climate or renewable energy targets on their land. Renewable energy is often hosted on farmland. While commercial consent is required, and by commercial consent we mean that there is a deal made between the proponents and the landholder to actually make sure it's of economic benefit to them to be involved. What we are increasingly finding is that farmers are rarely given the information they need to be able to determine true commercial consent. So what the impacts of hosting renewables will be on their lives and livelihoods. Unlike mining, there is very little regulation to ensure that proponents or energy companies provide the appropriate information, that they manage sites and their impacts during operations, and that they properly make good any harm, including end of life and rehabilitation. Also, we find planning guidelines often fail to understand off-site impacts. For example, with wind turbines that are now increasingly tall, there is an interaction for often up to 2 kilometres around those turbines with low altitude air operations, so crop dusting, spraying crops and weeds, or even mustering cattle. So there are a range of impacts that need to be better understood. This situation is even more fraught with transmission, because currently there is no commercial consent, and energy regulations have failed to require transmission companies to consider the impact of their proposal on different production systems and different soil types and environments. Over the past 3 years, farming organisations have been working with the state and federal regulators on ways to improve the consideration of issues so that farmers will want to actively host these facilities rather than to be forced to host them, and quite often in scenarios where each year the hosting of that infrastructure causes them significant loss. The solution is actually quite simple. Once land use and energy planners begin to understand agriculture, we need to talk to each other, we need to actually understand the languages we use and what our key issues are. So this concurrent session aims to look at the key areas for improvement, being planning, land access, and commercial consent or compensation. If we get these key aspects right, we can plan for renewable energy in the right place, ensure approvals and regulatory oversight allows and fosters coexistence with agriculture, and that landholders receive a financial benefit from assisting in climate change transition. Thank you.